Well, hello there, buffed beauty slayers. Welcome to my makeup series,
MakeupSex.
I'm gonna share some crazy sex stories, all while doing my makeup and showing you some makeup hacks that I've learned. You know, I have yet to find a lipstick that stays on while you're sucking.
And to be quite frank, I'm over it.
Since I've entitled the series Makeup Sex, I thought, where is somewhere that makeup artists don't do their makeup tutorials? Why not do it from the craziest place in the entire world? My bed. So we're gonna dive in deep today, guys, with an episode that I call Keep Your Beat in the Heat. As a bartender at the gates of hell, aka New Orleans, I have learned some tricks to keeping your face on with really terrible humidity. So grab your cup of coffee or vodka or whatever the fuck you drink, and let's get started. Well, hello and welcome back. Here I am, looking scarier than ever. It always is a scary process, doing makeup and transforming, but it's one that I love. I went ahead and put my eyeshadow primer on. Today, it's all about foundation. Not just the foundation that we put on our face, but also the foundation of who we are as a person. And you will get a wild look into the life that is Jojo. Spoiler alert, it's not that exciting. I am going to let you in on my little secret weapon. This is the Power Grip Primer. It is super effective on keeping your foundation on. When you use the e.l.f. primer, guys, to make sure, let it dry. I cannot specify that enough.
Let it dry completely.
The most challenging thing for makeup with trial and error for me has been my particular problem area is my upper lip where my stubble grows. That's right, full on bearded lady, tainted lady. I was at work and my foundation was super moist and somebody was like, oh, here, let me dab that, and dabbed it. My foundation came clear off, and there I was in all my mustache and glory, looking like a straight up man. I was not a fan. I ran to CVS and I just grabbed this Super Stay foundation by Maybelline.
Just like a random one from the market.
It was just to reapply to the areas it had came up. I was never planning on using this again, and it worked so well, stuck to my face, and now it's my go-to foundation, and it's only like $12, $13. There are two versions of it. There's the 30-hour, does not work as well, and I don't like the formula. Hated it! The Super Stay that is 24 hours, that has the pink lettering on it. For some reason, and I don't know why, the formula in this is so much better, especially if you use the procedure I'm going to teach you today.
Ooh la la.
You're probably wondering, who is this crazy fool that I'm watching? I grew up in a very religious, uptight family. It was not the easiest upbringing. Definitely being gay or trans or non-binary would not have been allowed. I think the foundation of finding out who you are is through your mistakes, and above all, being authentic. Authenticity is the foundation of who I am as a person. I think one of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten from people is, I feel the freedom to be myself around you. Where you are in your journey is so important. It's not about the destination. I have learned so many things through some of the most trying times of my life. After I left home and started being on my own, I really just wanted to create a sense of security. So I got into a couple long-term relationships, some that I shouldn't have stayed in as long as I did. I am grateful for the things I learned through those relationships, but it was not easy getting through them. The last one I had ended, it just ended. It ended very abruptly, and it was the person I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I had got a very expensive Tiffany's ring with, and I had poured a lot of my time and energy into my life that I was going to build with this person. I remember at the end of it, just looking into the mirror and telling myself, I really didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I had always done things to either be the perfect kid for my parents, or be the perfect Christian, or be the perfect boyfriend for the guy I was with, and I really didn't know who I was, what I wanted, and who I wanted to be in life. And that was a big problem. My foundation was solely based on pleasing other people. And it's a habit I had to break. So they say that the foundation of something is the part that holds everything else that's built on it. So when you are insecure in the foundation of you as a person, you can really make decisions that can affect you in a very negative way. I think in order to find out truly who you are is to fuck up. And that's one thing my parents really didn't allow me to do, and I felt like that pushed me back in lessons and what I knew and in my maturity. So I was hoping that these relationships were going to give me some identity and clarity and help me feel like I was worth something. And the funny thing is, I didn't need relationships to feel that way. Whenever I did start exploring my sexuality, you find out a lot about who you are as a person through your sexual endeavors. And I'm a firm believer in that. And when I started exploring my sexuality, I realized that I was very feminine at heart, and that in the bedroom, I enjoyed feeling and playing the role of a woman. And that helped me discover a lot about who I was. And accepting that wasn't the easiest thing to do, personally or publicly. It went against everything I was taught was right, and not everyone really took well to it. But in building that foundation also came confidence. And the funny thing about confidence is it's not a personality trait. It's not something you're born with. I believe that confidence is a skill you acquire over time. And let me tell you something. In your 20s, you think you have shit figured out, or that you're getting there. And your 30s hit, and it's just mind-opening. So if you're in your 20s right now, and maybe you're in a relationship that you know isn't one you should be in, or maybe you feel stuck in who you are as a person, or you're too busy trying to please people, roll with the punches, and just know at the end of it, you're going to learn a lot about yourself through those mistakes, through those failed relationships, and you have to go through them. It's the really tough part. On the other end of things, you will feel so much clarity, and your confidence will grow if you allow yourself to learn from your mistakes. It's okay to start over again. Just like this makeup, I could set the fuck out of it, make it absolutely beautiful. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to take it over, and I'm gonna have to restart. And there's beauty in that, and you learn from doing that. So don't be too hard on yourself is my advice. There are no mistakes, there are just lessons to learn, or whatever Oprah said. All right, guys, now that this foundation is as on as it's going to get, the Fenty Beauty's blotting powder. I have been hooked on these. It's part of my holy grail for about 3 years now. When I tell you it will change your life, especially if you use it in this way. I am going to set my entire face with this powder. As you can see, I have 2 of them, and I'm almost out. Like, you're gonna do about 2 to 3 layers. You have to let your foundation fully dry, just like you would the primer, especially if you use the Superstay, because it does get kind of tacky. We are going to start digging into this, and I'm just using a little foundation application brush. This works almost as like a antiperspirant for your face whenever it starts to sweat. So if you have a fan, I highly recommend getting one of those net fans for the summer. If you can blow that directly on your face when you start to get hot, it kind of dries and locks everything back into place. For some reason, with my oily texture, my foundation will pull up. Fanning, cooling off, and relocking is the remedy. Going back to the foundation of who we are as people, you know, it really hurts my heart to see the world in the state it's in. There's high feminine power right now that I love, but what triggered that power really hurts with the Roe versus Wade and the talk of our rights being stripped away. The funny thing when the world goes through these problems is you really get to see what people are made out of. For instance, when the Black Lives Matter movement happened and there were a lot of protests, it astounded me how many people I had to block that were just blatant racists. They were people I never really thought were. And it was just really sad to witness. I do want to be a little helpful and healthy reminder though. And this is one thing I've had to remind myself because I've had to restart so many times and really reclaim my identity and who I was as a person. And there's a lot of fear that what if we lose our rights with same-sex marriages, and women have lost their human rights. But I want to remind you of something, that as long as there is love, there is hate. And hate is not something that you finally overcome. It's going to be something that you are challenged with and you have to battle every single day of your life. That's why a foundation of who you are as a person is so important. You have to be grounded in that. So whether we lose our rights again or we have to fight this thing from square one, we can do it. And you have to remind yourself of that. You have to be steadfast in who you are as a person. You also have to be part of the solution and not the problem. Sometimes we complain so much or we fear so much. We forget that we have a call to action and we are equipped with everything we need as people to make the change that we need to see in the world. So it is good to inform people of the problem, but don't hyper focus so much on the problem that you forget you are the solution. And that can be applied to every area in your life. Remember the foundation of who you are and stay grounded in that. And that's about as intimate as we're going to get today, guys. I'm going to finish the rest of my face as a review for what we went over. e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, Maybelline Super Stay, and above all, the secret weapon to keeping your face on is Fenty blotting powder. And guys, don't everybody go and buy these all at one time because they're super hard to come by as is because people started catching on. And I need some, so save one for me. If you like what you saw today, guys, make sure to follow or subscribe and just stay tuned because I plan on making this series a bomb as fuck. Oh, you're back. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay subscribed and keep an eye out for my next one. I hope that you stay safe and don't forget to take up space. Until next time, buffed beauty slayers. See you later. Bye.